The dress rehearsal is tomorrow night, and hopefully we don't get a reoccurrence as to what we got last week when everybody in Philly was kind of freaking out because of a poor preseason performance that didn't matter. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. All right, so still some position battles and some roster spots that have to be fought over. Let's get into that right now. So 2 on defense that are pretty key and have been kind of been fought over all offseason. So we got the slot cornerback position and we got the weak side linebacker spot. Avonte Maddox has really kind of launched himself into this nickel cornerback mix. It was Sidney Jones and Devontae Bosby. Those were the 2 guys everybody was talking about. But Maddox got the start last week, and while he did allow a touchdown, I thought I saw a feistiness out of him that I liked, and I didn't see the raw physical tools that I saw on tape. So this coaching staff, again, man, like it seems like all these rookies are making progression in terms of their technique. And Avonte Maddox, a quick, jittery type of slot guy. I thought he'd be the slot cornerback of the future, meaning by next year. I thought he was going to be raw heading into this year. I thought he needed a year to kind of refine those skills. But he has been a little bit further along than I thought he'd be. Although I would still probably start Sidney Jones in the slot. He's just too talented a corner to just have on the bench, even though Maddox technically is kind of more fitted for the slot role considering what his skill set is. Sidney Jones, he still has the quickness and the mirroring skills to be able to handle the slot. He's just better suited outside. But either way, I don't think it really matters. I think Sidney Jones can play outside or inside. But outside is more effective, but he can still slide in inside and I think be effective. So Sidney Jones, I'm looking for him to kind of have a standout game. I want to see some really good stuff from him. And there you go there. Weak side linebacker spot. Looks like it's between Nate Jerry and Kamu Grugier-Hill. Corey Nelson was the guy a lot of people talked about all offseason, including myself. But hasn't really played that much. And, yeah, just not really in the mix, it seems like. So, Jerry and Kamu Grugier-Hill. Kamu Grugier-Hill, lightning quick, better in the run game. Nate Jerry, better in the pass game. You look at this weak side linebacker spot, you know, getting about 35 to 40% of the snaps, probably be more so a third down specialist. So, although I think Kamu Grugier-Hill has played better than Jerry, I think Jerry's a better cover guy, and I think he's going to be the starter. We'll see, though, because Kamu Grugier-Hill has played better, and he's looked a lot quicker and faster. He plays really fast out there, so I like the progression I've seen from Kamu. I really do. Okay, other spots. All right, offense. The running back situation is a mess. Oh. Josh Adams is going to win this 4th running back spot by default. He rose up the ladder last week and he didn't even play. That just shows how bad the competition has been. Wendell Smallwood, you run for a yard, you can't pass protect. Bye. You ain't making this team. Matt Jones, you drop 3 footballs. You've shown nothing to me. Bye. You're not making this team. Donnell Pumphrey can't even get on the field. Bye. You ain't making this team. Josh Adams is going to be your 4th running back by default. Corey Clement, Darren Sproles, Jay Ajayi. Those are your other 3. Wide receiver position. I don't know what the Eagles are going to do here. Are they going to keep 5 or are they going to keep 6? Usually you keep 6. But who's that 6th guy going to be? All right, so there's 5 definites. Alshon Jeffrey, Mac Hollins, Nelson Aguilar, Mike Wallace, Shelton Gibson. Shelton Gibson has been the guy that's really made that huge leap that I was looking to see from him heading from year 1 to year 2. Not only just the go routes, he's caught 2 of them, 1 in each game, but the sluggo, the intermediate routes, the shorter stuff, and even what he's doing on the kickoff returns is impressive as well. Shelton Gibson making a name for himself. But these other guys, like a Bryce Treggs, hamstring injury. Marcus Wheaton hasn't even played. Kamar Aiken is dropping everything. Greg Ward hasn't really made the leap that I was expecting. So who's going to be your 6th guy? What are they going to do? Are they going to keep another wideout, or are they just going to keep 5? Or is Doug going to try and do something crazy where He's going to maybe slide Donnell Pumphrey on this roster and turn him into a receiving type more than a running back because none of these other receivers are catching our eye. I'm curious to see if they do that. I really am. I don't know if they will. I don't think Donnell Pumphrey deserves to be on the team, but it does seem like they kept him on the roster last year for a reason, and now they still have him, and it sounds like he had a good camp from what the beat writers were saying. I mean, I didn't see any of it, so it's hard for me to judge. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that. I just don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they keep a fourth tight end instead of a fifth wide receiver because of Richard Rodgers' injury. Maybe you do that, and Billy Brown makes the team. Who's your sixth guy going to be? There's nobody standing out at all. So those are kind of the main points and the main things I'm going to look for tomorrow night. Nick Foles, do I really have any thoughts on him? Again, like last week, like it was more the offensive line than Nick Foles. I even like talked about this last year with LeGarrette Blount because this is what this reminds me of. Everybody was freaking out last year because LeGarrette Blount was running sweeps and he wasn't gaining any yards, and everybody was like, oh, LeGarrette Blount looks awful. And I did a Fedkiw focus saying, no, everything's going to be fine because this is what he does in the preseason. He just kind of schlups around, and they were calling a lot of these sweep plays. See, the reason why they were calling the sweep plays last year, there's more moving pieces to the sweep. It's harder to block. It's harder to get that really down. So for the offensive line to kind of build a cohesion and all that, you want to run the sweeps and the stuff where you have more moving pieces and moving parts. So you get all that together and you get all that down by the time the regular season comes around. And that's what that was all about last year. And this year, with Nick Foles, you see last year it was, well, they ran a lot of sweeps. They didn't do what made LeGarrette Blount feel comfortable. They didn't run him up the middle. Well, we're seeing that with Nick Foles. They're not using the RPOs. They're making him into a traditional quarterback with half of your receivers not even in the fold. And your offensive line looks like shit. 5 sacks allowed in the first half. Big V looked awful. This was after only allowing 2 sacks the entire postseason by this Eagles offensive line. So you could see a major difference there last week between what we saw in the playoffs with the O-line. And this O-line, when it came to allowing pressure, they actually were pretty much in the middle of the pack last year. It's the run blocking that's by far the best in the NFL in terms of the O-line of the Eagles. But the pass blocking is kind of, in the middle of the pack. And, we'll see. Jason Peters, once he comes back, hoping we get to see a little bit of that old Jason Peters, because I have not liked what I've seen from Big V so far. And he looks out of shape, too. He looks fat. Looks like he gained some weight this offseason. He's been eating too much Haagen-Dazs, like me. It's a problem. So I guess those are some quick thoughts of what I think, what we might see, and kind of what my thoughts are on some of these position battles. I've got to get out of here because I got a game to produce. So if I miss anything in that bit, I'm sorry. But I guess this is kind of like my little preseason preview for tomorrow night. So there you go. All right, I'm Adrian Fedkiw. I got to get out of here. I got to run. Take care. See ya.